If you're ready to build a life that's selfish in the right ways, rich in every way, this episode is for you. Choosing yourself is the most profitable decision you'll ever make. Welcome to the podcast. This is Selfishly Made, and I'm your host, Melissa. Okay, ladies. So this is officially the first episode of the Selfishly Made podcast. Here, I'm trying to build a community of selfish, wealthy, confident, powerful women, right? And so if there's anything that I've learned, it's that our next chapter does not wait for permission. And starting something new feels very interesting to say the least, but it's exciting nonetheless. So I'm super excited to be here. When I think about myself starting something new, I think bold, I think in public, I think very confident in myself. And so it's very scary choosing myself in public and just in general for someone who's been in the online space before to kind of come back into this. So it's scary choosing myself publicly again, but I am letting my ambition be seen instead of softened and having a voice in public again. I've been away from social media and business for like the last few years, and I did that intentionally to just rebuild my foundation. But now I hear like this whisper and this pull to grow into a new version of myself, and I'm super excited. So a few weeks ago, I had a conversation with a friend who said something very interesting and very true that resonated with me. And she was like, Melissa, you don't have the privilege of not being perceived in public, not with the mission that you have. And what's crazy is that she was so right about it. It's not because I don't know what I'm saying or, that I'm scared I'll look dumb, but because choosing yourself out loud is very different than choosing yourself in private or like building something in private and working in private. So it's a little bit different because as a founder of a media company, like I am building in public. So starting this podcast and starting the Selfishly Made media brand is me stepping into being perceived again, and not as I used to be, but as the woman that I am becoming. So I hope that you will come along the journey with me because I know so many of you are in that same transition. And yes, of course, I'm super nervous because my dreams are even bigger than they were a few years ago. And so it's like I feel this tightness in my chest, but it's like that good tightness, right? It's like that feeling in your chest right before you do something you're actually meant to do, right? So that's how I'm feeling. And this is where we're starting today. So I'm excited. We're not going to linger in the nerves at all. I'm going to let it go and just come here and vibe with you guys. So this show, this media brand is not on accident by any means. And this show exists in a gap that I've seen very continuously over the last few years. And since this is the very first episode of the podcast, I really want to tell you exactly why the show exists and why I had to create this now, like today, and it's launching today. So there is a side of success that we don't talk about that doesn't get the spotlight that it deserves. And we celebrate all the promotions or getting our apartment upgrades and the soft life aesthetics, right? But we don't talk about the parts that actually change a woman, like the nights that I even question what the hell I'm doing and if the life built still fits, me and my desires, and the pressure of being the one that everyone counts on and the emotional cost of wanting more when everyone thinks, oh, like I should be satisfied. I should be good. Like I have everything that they dreamed of. And what comes with being strong, successful, and she's doing so well type of friend, right? And so Selfishly Made exists to give a voice to the realities ambitious women quietly carry, and not the perfectly packaged success stories, right? So no one actually prepares you for how lonely it can feel to win, or how guilty you feel for wanting more when your life looks so good on paper. Like, we as ambitious women are very misunderstood, but I also think that's a very good thing, in my honest opinion. And so I'm creating the space to redefine selfish as strategy and not as recklessness. And because somewhere along the way, ambitious woman, we were taught that choosing ourselves too boldly makes us irresponsible or ungrateful or overly dramatic. And so instead, we learn not to really go after our dreams, and we stay comfortable for other people. We downplay our ambitions. We keep living lives that look good on paper, even when they no longer feel aligned to ourselves. And so I'm saying, fuck that. And I know firsthand, I hit one of the biggest goals in my life, like the kind of goal that you think will finally make you feel complete. And when I got there, it still wasn't enough. Not because I failed or anything like that, but because I had evolved. I had evolved as a woman over the last few years. And success has these hidden costs that we never mention. And I want to put a spotlight on those stories. So if you are tuning into the podcast, whether it's on Spotify or you're watching it on YouTube, this is where women will see themselves, and where I want you to see yourselves and other successful women, and finally understand what it took to make the dreams a reality and the rewards that came with it, right? And so at the end of the day, women deserve so much more, and we deserve honesty so we can make decisions that are very intentional. And again, I feel like we glamorize success a little bit too much, like the titles and the money and the lifestyle. And don't get me wrong, all those things are so good, but we rarely ever talk about what it actually costs, like the emotional weight, the relationships that shift, the loneliness, the things that we gave up for growth, the financial risks that we took, and even the identity changes that no one actually ever prepares you for. So Selfishly Made exists in that gap. Now, there is always a selfish decision that we as women make before we are pushed into this journey of, creating a new reality or chasing our dreams, right? And so 5 years ago, I made a decision that completely changed my life. And that decision was to choose myself. And almost overnight, I became the villain in somebody else's story. And that was not fun. That decision was divorce. And I want to really be clear here. It wasn't impulsive, like dramatic or reckless. It was truly very heavy at the time, and it kind of came with that same feeling that I have recording this episode right now, like that tightness in your chest when you're choosing a different path and you're choosing yourself, even if you can't really fully see where it leads you yet. But here's the part that actually matters. 5 years later, after choosing to leave someone, to leave a relationship, to divorce this person, 5 years later, my life is completely different and for the better. And so I have a dream career that I am proud of. I have a life that feels peaceful instead of performative. I have a beautiful relationship that's rooted in respect and safety and love. And most importantly, I trust myself again, because for a long time, I absolutely did not. And that decision unlocked everything that I have today. And it's the reason I can sit here and say now that, and I say this with confidence, that choosing yourself does work. Okay, so I want to share, these are like 5 things that I've learned over the last 5 years because someone, you know, ladies, if you're listening to this, one of you may resonate with this. And I really want women to know, like, when it comes to building and evolving from your current life, that here are some of the lessons that I took away. Okay. So I wrote this down so like I can keep myself on track and stuff like that. But okay. So the first one is you don't apologize for wanting more. Mm-mm. Rather it's more money, rather it's peace, confidence, even your own space, like wanting more does not make you ungrateful. And it just makes you honest with yourself. And I'm living a life today that 5 or 10 years ago felt like a fucking pipe dream. And now I have new dreams, and that's kind of cool, right? So, yeah, don't apologize for wanting more. And if you want more than what you're currently being dealt with, go after it and make the decision to do it. Be honest with yourself. Okay, number 2, fear and expectations are optional, but courage is absolutely required. So the fear and the nerves will always be there, and that is completely okay. But so will other people's opinions and what they think about your life and the decisions that you make. So, story time. After moving back home with my parents in 2021, is like January 2021, I stayed there for like 2.5 years. And in that 2 years, I had built a 6-figure career in the tech marketing space. I then decided to move out on my own because I could. And at the time, like, I wanted a house, like, I wanted the space, right? Because I had only lived in small apartments before, or I've never actually like lived by myself, just like me and my dog. It was just small apartments with roommates or like my previous partner. And so again, I had built this career. I had the financial means to move out, and your girl wanted a house. Okay. So like I'm talking like an actual house just for me and my dog. And some people in family were like, what the fuck? Like, okay, like interesting. Why? But I wanted my own space. Like, I wanted to buy my own couch and decorate my home and be a big girl. And so, yes, it was scary, and people had very much in my face opinions about my decisions, but I had the courage to leave and have my own space. And now I'm building such a beautiful foundation in my beautiful home. Okay. All right. So, number 3, if you want it, you work for it, baby, period. Okay. So I 100% believe in manifestation, but manifestation never actually works until you actually take action and do something about it to bring yourself closer to the version that you're manifesting. Dreams do not reward intention, they reward movement. And so, again, I had dreams 5 years ago that I've attained now, that I've brought into my current reality. And now I have even bigger dreams and things that I want to manifest, like with the media brand and things in my career and opportunities. So, again, your dreams reward movement. And I am living proof that I am taking a step each day to make my future dreams a reality. So number 4, and then we have one more. So being villainized comes with choosing yourself. It's just how it is. So girl, get comfortable with being a little bit misunderstood in this world and talked about, and you're just going to piss some people off sometimes. And so now at this point in my life, I welcome it because I can't change how somebody feels about me or their opinions about what I do and what I buy and people being in my pockets. Like, if I try to, that's just too much work and too much energy that I don't have. And if I do have it, it should be placed in other places that are going to better my life. And I'm not doing it for them, I'm doing it for me. So the last one, number 5, your circle determines how far you go. And this took me a while to believe because I am a very much independent girly and I want to do everything on my own. Like, I don't like to ask for help. I've created my own beautiful life. I can do everything on my own. And so I learned very quickly that who you keep close will either expand you or keep you small. And my friend and I were talking about this a few weeks ago. And like, I'm the type of person that who will push you or guide you, but in like a very positive way and in a way for you to become a better version of yourself. And I'm definitely very proud of it. And so my friend told me that sometimes it can feel very intense because it's very positive at the end of the day, but it can feel very intense because I am on this trajectory and the people that I surround myself with, I also want them on this trajectory of growth and living our best goddamn lives. So when people come into my space, they definitely feel that energy for me and it can feel sometimes a bit intense, but again, I'm proud of it and that is completely okay. So yeah, so over like the last 5 years, I've intentionally surrounded myself with like-minded woman who expands me, whether that's like in real life or online, I'm very intentional about who is in my circle and who I keep around. And I want this space, this community to be filled with women who expand each other, right? So women who support growth and challenge the comfort and for us to all find soul sisters in each other as we're on this journey. Okay, TLDR ladies, you are not crazy for wanting more. You don't need permission to choose yourself, but if no one's ever said it out loud, here it is. This show is going to tell you the truth, even when it's a little bit uncomfortable. So stick around because I may just change your whole damn life. Ladies, I've been running my mouth, but I love to hear from you. Leave a 5-star review. That helps this podcast reach other selfishly made girlies. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or watch it on YouTube. And also make sure that you are subscribed to the Selfishly Made Substack for more selfish conversations. I will see you next time. Bye.